On today's part of my take, Grit Week continues. We stop at the Washington football team's facility, get to talk to Coach Ron Rivera. Awesome interview with him. The definition of grit, that guy. We also went to Canton. We talk about our Hall of Fame visit. We also have David Baker on to negotiate getting Larry the Goldfish into Canton, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Some Hard Knocks, Mount Rushmore of worst places to fart. A new segment, Guys on Checks, which actually is a winner. I think we're going to keep doing it. I like
Guys on Checks.
Yeah, it was good. A little talk about people's workplace, how they navigate work. And we're going to do it all because we're sponsored by our friends at Coors Light. Coors Light is sponsoring all of Grit Week. We've been drinking Coors Light on the RV. We've been drinking Coors Light at the bar. We love Coors Light. You should love Coors Light. Support us by supporting Coors Light. Coors Light is the official beer of slowing down summer. Summer always feels like it's the shortest season. We have like 2 weeks left of summer. Crack open a nice cold Coors Light. Make sure those mountains are blue and enjoy the last couple weeks of summer. It is literally made to chill. It is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. Coors Light is the coldest beer of all time. It's tapped from the Colorado Rockies. Perfect for a moment to unwind this summer because Coors Light, again, is the official beer of slowing down summer because it's the beer that's made to chill. We want you to savor every second of summer. Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Please support Coors Light. We love you, Coors Light. You're the best. You can also see the RV that we're driving around. It has Coors Light all over it. So if you see us, honk. And we'll see you in Cleveland and Buffalo. But okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Coors Light, the greatest beer of all time. Today is Wednesday, August 18th, and we are in Cleveland. We are on Grit Week, day 3. Great trip so far. We have Washington football team coach Ron Rivera coming up. We're in Canton. And we also watch Hard Knocks at shout out Maddie and Tyler, their house. Wonderful AWLs. Hard Knocks stinks.
And also shout out Duke the dog.
Duke the dog.
Duke the dog really saved the night. There's nothing that can turn around a bad episode of Hard Knocks like watching it with a cool dog.
Except for Jake. Jake is allergic to dogs.
Jake's allergic to dogs. He'll never know my joy.
Yeah.
But Jake, trust me, it's awesome. When you're not allergic to dogs, man, it's the God moment.
If we had we should actually, for next year's Grit Week, we should have like a helmet that we give out every day. Jake gets the grittiest guy of the day because we went to their house to watch Hard Knocks. We were there for maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and Jake has been sneezing and sniffling since. But that's grit. He actually turned to me like choking back his own phlegm, almost dying. And he was like, "It is Grit Week after all." I was like,
excuses.
"It's okay, dude."
No, I am a little bit concerned, though, that Jake's going to get back on the sauce on the nose spray.
Yeah,
this is like a gateway. Like, you've been so good. You've been off it for such a... This could be a relapse.
No, not going to happen.
What is grit? What's the grittiest thing you guys did on Grit Week? Well, we have this guy, Jake, who's allergic to the world, and he sat with a dog for an hour.
Jake played
Well,
with
look,
a dog.
my mom has a hypoallergenic dog, so it's not like completely bad, but this one happened to shed.
It happened to shed. It did kind of save what was a stinker episode of Hard Knocks. I've never felt dumber, actually, watching TV than I did at the end of this week's episode of Hard Knocks, because when it was over, you know what I did as everybody was getting up and like getting ready to go to their Ubers? I sat on the couch because I was like, wait, I want to see scenes from next week's Hard Knocks.
Yes.
Like it was an episode of Game of Thrones that was going to come on. Oh yeah, they haven't filmed it yet because the world hasn't happened
Yeah, it
yet.
hasn't happened. It hasn't occurred. It was the ending was I had to like check myself because they had the dramatic rainstorm and Liev Schreiber was doing some unbelievable speech. And then I was like, wait, they lost in a preseason game to the Cardinals by 3 points. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
But it was like life and death. I would say it was boring because the issue at hand is there's two things that everyone wants to see. It's Jerry Jones. Wasn't enough Jerry Jones. And two, we want to see more Dak. And that's the only story that anyone cares about. And they can't show it because they don't want to tell us that his shoulder's fucked up and he's probably going to miss the whole year.
Yeah, I could have dealt with maybe a training camp fight That would be something. Maybe we could put like a real fight.
Yeah, we had the Rams versus Aaron Donald started that, which whoever wants to fight Aaron Donald, be my guest.
Yeah,
that's the dumbest thing.
I'll take the knockoff Aaron Donald in the South stands.
You know what? That might have been like whoever fought him on the Cowboys was like, hey, if I fight Aaron Donald, they have to give me a roster spot.
Or they're going to show me on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, right.
That's what he was going for. I'm a little concerned with Gucci Danucci. That's kind of a running theme if you've ever watched him play football. But I think that they're giving him a little bit too much face time. And he's a guy that he thrives in a situation where he's not on film a lot.
But remember, it like dawned on me halfway through the episode. I turned to you. I was like, doesn't Mike McCarthy know him or something? There is that Western PA, affinity they have with each other. And I think Danucci's 8th grade basketball coach is Mike McCarthy's brother. So I think he's okay.
Yeah.
I think that alone will keep him on the team.
Meritocracy.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe practice squad.
I don't know because like you can read the tea leaves. We've watched enough episodes of Hard Knocks where they always focus on one guy and try to make him a sympathetic backstory character, and then he gets cut.
Oh, the dude from the Ivory Coast is fucked. And a great story.
Which sucks because he won the game on that sack. But he's like a 225-pound defensive end.
Great story.
Also, shout out to his mom. The outfit that she wore to that game.
Yeah.
That's sick. I would like to see people start to adopt that style of wear because you can't have a bad time if you're rocking like a satin fluorescent pink outfit.
Yeah, it was great watching his family. Like when the mom was like, "I can't stop smiling."
Yeah,
it was the family episode. As a father too, I found some heartwarming moments. I also miss my family. I'm at that point of the road trip, day 3, where I'm like, "Oh, I kind of wish I was with my son," but that's okay. I get to watch Hard Knocks at a random person's house. Shout out Tyler and Maddie and Duke.
This is how bad the episode was. Like one of the best parts of the episode was like, hey, this guy speaks with a different accent. Mm-hmm. And they did like 10 minutes on
the English.
Hey, this guy's from England. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I do. So I think it was Maddie. Who else?
Maddie and Tyler. And Duke.
Tyler
Duke almost killed Jake.
Yeah. Tyler turned to me at one point and when they were doing the English thing, he was like, you got to do a Jerry Jones impression of Jerry Jones doing the British accent, which you did. So I do have one of those ready to go if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, of course. Come on.
Hey, mate. This is wild stuff. You know what they call a cigarette in London? And then that's
like when someone's
I'm not gonna
like,
repeat the rest.
I've been
because,
DJing
because he's like I've read the Matt Damon interview.
Yeah, you can't do that. Jerry Jones tried to do an English accent, when he tried to do the Winston Churchill speech.
Yeah, that didn't work well. Jerry is the only guy I think that I've ever seen that's put on weight after the age of 75. Most people just start to wither away. He's just ballooning up.
Yeah, I think it's mostly the Botox.
Or the sodium.
Yeah, the Botox is like just keeps you nice and plump at all times.
Yeah.
Your face has the plumpness to it. But yeah, boring episode. I don't know. Hard Knocks, I feel like I don't want to. I still love it. I think we do this every year, though. Episode 1, we get really excited because they also have more to film. They have like 2 or 3 weeks to film. We get very excited. Football's coming back. And then by the time we get to like the last episode, I'm like, I'm out on this.
Yeah, well, it serves its purpose.
Right.
And its purpose is to make me excited in the last like 2 weeks of July and the first week of August to anticipate the first episode of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's like, okay, I would rather watch preseason football once a week.
Yeah, I actually think that we should do we need a think piece, an oral history of Hard Knocks, how Rex Ryan ruined Hard Knocks, because everyone after Rex is trying to have a moment like Rex, and you'll never have that moment again.
I thought that the closest that we came was the Browns season, because in the Browns season, at least you had Todd Haley and Hugh Jackson just like trying to piss up the same wall, the same barn, and both just wetting themselves the entire time. And then you also had the infamous Baker spiral.
Yeah, that was Hugh Jackson was not trying to do anything funny, but everything he did was funny.
Yes, which is the funniest thing of all.
Yes, right.
What was your mojo moment from this week? I think mine was. No, you can go first. I'm trying to decide between two.
I was going to say, well, in real life or in Hard Knocks?
In Hard Knocks.
Okay, because in real life, it was them, Tyler and Maddie, giving us guacamole, which was homemade.
Yeah, it was
incredible
great
move. That was mojo
too.
moment.
That was
After
a big
we had
mojo
like
moment.
3,000 chips that day.
I chip myself to death. I do that every time I go to Mexican food. I always chip myself to death. I just sit there, and you don't even need to bring me dinner. I ordered 5 tacos, and by the time they came, I was like, I'm gonna puke.
You got to persevere. You gotta,
No, I bury
it.
myself in chips. I can't. I'm
But then
I'm
you
like
had more at the house?
yeah, oh yeah. I'm like a Labrador that like you put the food out and they will literally eat themselves to death. If you put enough chips out, I will eat myself to death.
That's what a husky does. A husky, because their instinct is like, I don't know when my next meal is going to be. I'm a pack dog. I'm pulling a sled. I better get my calories in.
Yeah, no,
But the guacamole was fantastic.
Yeah, it's death by chips.
Yeah.
That will be on my tombstone. I still think about when we went to the Final Four in San Antonio and I chipped myself to death for like 4 days straight.
My mojo moment from Hard Knocks was DeMarcus Lawrence saying, I don't like to turn my back on the ocean.
Yeah, that's
good. Great life advice.
Oh.
I don't know why, but from now on, I'm never going to turn my back on that ocean.
Yeah, mine was when they did the yoga man card, and then they zoomed in on the guy's taint, and then they went to Ezekiel Elliott being like, "My gooch hurts." That was great editing?
It was very good. Have you seen? Well, it was kind of weird. They all put the towels over their heads and laid down. It looked like Heaven's Gate. It was a really strange
I think that was
setup.
the sun that they were trying to get away from, but it might be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was that
okay.
simple. Yeah.
That makes sense. My mojo moment from this week was I'm going to say so far from today, me and Big Cat apologizing to each other. We had an apology off because we did go to Canton. We went to visit Larry's gravesite, R.I.P. Larry, or Gambling Goldfish, Larry too. And his grave has been defiled. He's been dug up.
The tree has been defiled.
And they cut down his tree.
Yes.
They cut down his tree, which is a real problem with CO2 that we're having right now. Like, we need all the trees we can get. And they chopped his little tree down. And we were looking for his gravesite. But unfortunately, without all these landmarks that we have to find Larry, like his plaque, which has also been removed, I thought it was in this one location. We got there and we're like, well, it's not here. And then Big Cat was like, no, it was way further down this road. And I was like, no, you're wrong. And then Big Cat was like, no, you're wrong.
No, I was like, there's no tree there.
Yeah, there's no tree there. And so Big Cat and I we got to do a back and forth saying like, I will accept my apology anytime now. We said that to each other. And then after we realized we'd been duped and the tree was cut down.
We both were wrong and right.
We admitted to each other that we were actually both right.
You had the location right. I had the fact there was no tree there right.
Yes.
And yeah, I thought for a second there that we were losing it. They were like, all right, we got to hang it up because we can't figure out like a pretty significant detail in all of our lives, I'd say. Yeah. Larry's funeral. It just erased from our memory, but we've sorted it out. We have David Baker on the show. We are going to get Larry into Canton, so you'll hear that. The Hall of Fame was awesome, though. Walking around, we got like a view of John. Shout out John, who's their archivist. He took us in the back. We got to see all this really cool stuff. Just an awesome time.
Yeah, it was great. We do have a code blue situation on the bus, though, on the RV, which is the generator's dead. And so now there's no AC. There's no power on the bus. So Billy's going to be sweating out there. It's humid. You know what? The bus actually turned humid on the drive from Canton to Cleveland. I don't think I've ever been humid inside of a car before, but there we were. So our bus driver, Ben, said that he tried to fix it, but he doesn't have any tools. Corey told us.
Yeah, it's coming up. Remember, it's coming up.
Yeah.
Let's try time travel. Billy, question for you. So no generator, no AC, but you do have a mattress from Mattress Firm, right? So you're unjunking your sleep. You've seen a sleep expert. Go right now to a Mattress Firm store or mattressfirm.com to unjunk your sleep with a sleep expert. How have you been sleeping on your Mattress Firm mattress?
I cannot wait until you guys leave the RV to go to bed because the mattress is so amazing.
There it is. Great answer.
And honestly, I'm not worried about no AC because the mattress is so amazing.
And you're gritty.
The only part about having that mattress is that I can't lay on it during the day when we're driving because everyone else tries to sleep on my mattress.
I might have spilled some dip spit on it when I was out back there today. But that's matter. Okay. That's fine. That's grit. Yeah. It was just there was a bottle cap situation.
I can't get people out of my bed.
We hit a bump, and it was like, whoops, I'm on Billy's bed.
I definitely left my my beer can that was mostly empty, almost all the way empty, on the top bunk.
Yeah.
And then Jake got into it on the first night. He's like, I'm going to just go climb up there for a second. I was like, oh, no, he's definitely going to feel how wet that mattress. And then Jake comes immediately back down with the can of beer and like throws it in the trash.
So our bad, guys. Yeah. Our bad. That was, that was a joke, a prank by us.
Listen, we're messing. This is the road life. This is when me and Big Cat get back to our roots, which is just essentially spilling liquids on things.
Yes, random liquids on things and not telling anyone. That's the important part.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
spilling liquids is normal. It's never telling anyone that that you spilled anything ever.
Jake, would you rather sleep on a mattress that's been soaked in Coors Light, like old warm Coors Light, or have an extremely cute dog sleep on the mattress with you?
Giving me all the time with the Coors Light. Mountains are blue.
Okay.
The sheets are blue too in the RV.
What if I told you you can either not sleep or you never get another pillow ever to sleep on ever again for the rest of your life unless you sleep on Duke as a pillow for one night?
If it was during Grit Week, I would be gritty.
Yeah.
Grind it out.
Yeah.
And let him kiss you on the lips, too.
Yeah. Kiss you up and down. Hank, check in with you. Are you good?
Yeah.
All right. The grittiest of us all.
Hank, you get some sun today?
Nope.
Ew, why are your eyes red?
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm very tired.
Ezekiel Elliott looked really tired today,
Yeah,
too.
I'm
You know?
super tired.
I mean,
Just
I
really
actually haven't
hungry.
even. You guys are inferring something that I haven't even done.
No.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that was the reason, but
Yeah.
I'm actually just tired.
Hank also bought some shades in the Canton Pro Football Hall of Fame.
they're
Do you
fire.
have them?
They are.
They're
They're
fire. I
amazing.
don't have
Pro
them.
Football
I don't
Hall of
have them
Fame
with me.
gift shop.
I'll wear
and he
them in
looks
Buffalo.
like the
I'll wear
biggest
them in Buffalo.
douchebag ever.
They're
It's awesome.
awesome.
They're
like
awesome.
They're
silver,
team issued. They're team issued.
silver Patriots like Oakleys that are so fucking
It's the
funny.
definition of like they were on the counter when you're checking out. Like,
Oh,
I gotta add
take
these on.
this.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
look like they're straight out of like 1997.
I
Like the
bet
Jared Carabas edition.
they look like the same glasses that Gaz is wearing when he's getting taken out of the NFL HQ.
Yes.
With his,
Yes.
with his handcuffs on.
Yes.
That should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that was the only other thing I had to mention. Hank and our sales guy Nick, who's with us, Liam pointed this out to me, and I watched you guys do it. They basically spent the entire time walking through the Pro Football Hall of Fame, cataloging any and all slander against the Patriots. They were like taking pictures of like the helmet catch, being like, "This shouldn't be here." Like, where's Belichick? It was so great. They're like, "This is bullshit."
Yeah, what'd you think of Goodell's chair?
Didn't care for it.
Yeah, it's on the list.
I
I mean, it's
sat.
one of those things where it's awkward because, like, you know, the Pro Football Hall of Fame opened their doors for us, so I don't want to, like...
No, you could say it.
It's a piece of shit.
It's also the
chair.
very first thing
The
you
chair.
see when you walk
chair.
in.
Yeah, the
the
chair,
chair.
not the
Yeah,
Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame's incredible.
great. Hall of
Yes.
Fame's great.
So I got
Chair's
it.
a piece of shit.
I did get a chance to sit in the chair, and as I was leaving, the lady that was helping us out with the tour, she told me that Roger Goodell actually wants that chair back for football season. So he didn't even donate it to the Hall of Fame.
the worst.
He's Washington
The
football
worst.
team
So they can
giving
invite
the
more
chair.
people over
Yes.
for charity and then never have them come over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't
basically.
forget.
And also his M&M holders in there too.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
a bit
get out.
masturbatory, Roger.
Roger Goodell's Hall of Fame, pretty much. Okay, Hot Seat Cool Throne time. Hot Seat Cool Throne is brought to you by our friends at Tick Pick, who's back in the summer. Games and concerts with fans in the stands, that's what. And Tick Pick, no, not Dick Pick. Tick Pick with a T needs to be your go-to for tickets to live events like maybe Dead and Company at Citi Field on Friday night, or if you want to go see a baseball game, Tick Pick is the place to go because they actually invented NFTs when they were the first site to offer no fee tickets.
They probably don't do free tickets either.
Yeah, no fee tickets. This has saved fans over $55 million and counting. People accept that bullshit service fee on tickets. That site's charge, but TickPick's whole business model eliminated them. Don't waste time checking multiple sites to compare ticket prices because TickPick is the most fan-friendly ticket site there is. They guarantee the best prices on live event tickets. Don't believe it? If you can find better prices for the same seats on another ticket site, TickPick will give you 110% of the difference in purchase price. So go right now. Visit tickpick.com/take and use code TAKE for $10 off your first order on live event tickets. And don't forget to download their app and use code TAKE for $10 off. No fee tickets. The original NFT TickPick should be your first choice to buy tickets because they save fans money by never charging any service fees ever. Go right now, tickpick.com/take. Use code TAKE for $10 off your first order on live event tickets. Okay, Hot Seat Cool Throne, Hank.
Dan.
Henry.
Henry.
Daniel.
Are you gonna do it? Or
Yeah.
are you
Okay.
gonna
My
roll
hot seat
gun
is
shy?
my hot seat's the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, okay. Why?
Uh-oh.
I thought they were like way ahead of the Yankees.
They're now only one game. They lost today. First half a doubleheader. Second game's going on right now. They lost the first game. They're only one game ahead of the Yankees. The Yankees are 21-9 since the All-Star break. The Red Sox are 14-16. So we got a good old, and Rizzo. Rizzo came back. They got a little momentum. He got
And
COVID.
they got Gallo.
Gallo, my boy.
Joey Gallo.
When's Schwarber gonna play?
I think he played the other day.
I think so
No,
too.
no first at bat home run though.
What'd you
But
do
Schwarber
to him?
will get hot.
Why? How'd you break our boy?
I don't know, but the it's gonna be a fun fall though.
Yeah.
Classic pennant race.
getting nervous
Classic pennant race for
the
wild
card
yeah.
spot.
Hey,
Right.
I know you very deeply care about the Red Sox like all year round.
I know.
That's a given. But like, when do you really start to get into them?
Right about now. This is, probably not till like September, mid to late September, and then definitely October if they make the playoffs. But a Red Sox Yankees pennant race for the wild card is enough to catch my attention, and I'll be tuned in.
It demands your attention right now.
Right.
You got the alert like, hey, Henry Lockwood, we need your attention. Show up. Let's go.
Right, and they have it. I'm here.
Okay. Perfect.
And then my cool throw.
if they lose, like, let's say the next 7 games, will your attention now be off of it?
Well, if they're out of the pennant race for the wild card, then yeah.
Okay.
And then my cool throwing is cold activated shirts and cups.
Yeah.
We were talking about this on the bus. They came out in the disc golf video. It's one of those things that, I mean, they're cool, but it's like, how do we even do them? It's a modern marvel that we're selling, we're profiting off of. It's nice, they're cool little things, but when you actually wrap your mind around it, can you guys tell me? I was asking Billy. Billy couldn't even come up with an
mountains
answer.
turning
Billy usually
blue
has an
on
answer
a
for
can of
everything,
beer?
whether it's right or wrong.
Mostly wrong.
He was stumped.
The mountains turning blue on a can of beer is probably the best scientific achievement, maybe ever.
But
The-
now they have
but
the cups
we
and
have,
the shirts.
we have shirts, we have cups. The cups, like, you would have thought that we had just all watched like the RV go to the moon, because we got on the RV. There we have these mugs. They were clear all day. Someone had put a couple into the cooler, pulled it out like dark blue, and everyone was like, what? How the fuck did this happen? And then they pulled it out, and then slowly it went back to clear, and everyone's like, oh my God, and it's going back. So the lesson is, yes, it's incredible technology, and also our brains are maybe like a little bit better than like a kitten's brains, where we can be fascinated by these smallest, littlest things.
Well, even better than taking it out of the fridge, when you pour a cold beer into it,
Yeah.
you can watch the cup, like the beer looks
Blows your
like
mind.
it turns blue as it goes up the side. It's a science experiment. Like, you could probably get an A if you have a third grader out there and they're looking for a last minute thing to bring into class. Just give them a Coors Light and a frosty mug and tell them to report for their teacher.
It's like the iPhone. Some
A+.
genius spent all their time making this like modern marvel of technology just so like moms can play Candy Crush.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some scientist spent a lot of time figuring that technology out for it to just go into beer cups.
Also, so people could rant into them in their trucks. That's really the best part about an
Yes.
iPhone. Is that it?
PFT.
Okay, great job. My hot seat is fun. Fun's on the hot seat.
no.
Sorry, because Mr. Mara, Giants co-owner,
Yes.
Mr. Mara, and all the people out there referring to him as John Mara, you might as well call Deion Sanders Prime or call him Deion and not Coach, because it's disrespectful. Co-owner John Mara was the driving force behind the new taunting penalty in the NFL, the one where you see the guy in the Colts that got the flag for essentially just standing up and screaming after he ran over the entire Panthers defense. So Mr. Mara was the one that is enforcing it. It's honestly stupid. Like, he was saying that nobody wants to see this,
Well, I got
and
the
we
quote,
all.
yeah.
Oh, you got the quote.
Yeah, here it is. So he said, we get sick and tired of the talking that goes on from time to time. Well, first of all, I'm going to stop you right there. It's not even like talking that goes on all the time. From time to time, we get sick and tired of something. No. It's just a question of whether you can have rules that can be enforced and without taking the fun out of the game. Nobody wants to see a player taunting another player. I know I certainly don't. I'm going to have to say that I absolutely do. Put me up for when he says nobody, put me on the list of somebody who does want to see taunting all the time.
Because when he says we get sick and tired of all the talking, who is this we bullshit?
From time to time.
It's just John Mara that
Yes,
gets sick of
yes,
it.
Mr.
John,
Mara.
by the way, excuse me.
If they were
Giants
good, he would
co-owner
not
Mr.
have
Mara.
cared as much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like I can make a rule. If you play basketball against me, I'm going to outlaw dunking for both of us.
Yes.
It's like, oh no, Daniel Jones isn't allowed to taunt after all his spectacular plays.
Yeah,
But
you
it's-
guys stink and you get taunted on.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
And John Mara, if you take one look at the guy,
Yeah.
Mr. Mara, he is the man.
Yes.
He is the man that he's the machine that needs to be raged against. He looks like when you die, if you still have a boss, that's what he looks like.
Yes.
He's the
He should be-
antithesis of fun.
he should be starring in The Crown
Yes.
because he's basically a monarch in England, but it's actually in New York, and he just says no fun for you.
He should star in Downton Abbey as a portrait that hangs on the wall of the most boring character's house.
Yes. So that's
I've never
Mr.
seen
Mara.
that show, but I think I nailed that.
Yeah, you did. Your cool turn?
Oh, yeah, my cool throne. My cool throne is Billy's butt.
Yeah.
Billy's butt's on the cool throne. Now it is. Yesterday, not so much. So we went out to the Buffalo Wing Factory in Sterling, Virginia, one of my favorite places growing up, and Billy attempted the Flatliner Challenge.
What is the flatliner challenge?
That's a good question. Billy, do you want to answer that? I can keep going.
Well, we have a video coming out, so why don't you explain the challenge, but don't tell us what happened.
10 extremely hot wings.
It's going to be awesome. You're going to fucking crush this.
I'll put it this way. These wings are so hot. My friend Taylor, we dared him back in high school to take a shot of the Flatliner sauce. He did. He sprinted out to the parking lot and started puking everywhere. They called an ambulance. So this is a really good
This
place
is going to
eat
be
wings.
great. All right, so tune in because we have Billy trying it with special guest Stanford Steve who had lunch with us. Listen, I know there's some haters of Billy. This will win you over.
What time should we do it? 7 o'clock? 8
Whenever-
o'clock?
whenever it
7
gets,
tomorrow,
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
How about
8
this?
o'clock.
8
If-
o'clock.
How about this? If this tweet with this video on it gets 200 retweets, that's when it comes
Well,
out.
no, because we're going to schedule it, then we have to go out all day. So
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
But nice try.
Hey, listen, I'm looking out for the team here. I'm trying to get our numbers up. Corporate's been breathing down our ass.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Excited, Billy. We're gonna crush it.
One
People
sneak
breathe
peek.
down your ass.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's possible.
Wait, don't say anything because this is gonna be we're gonna crown our champion.
You know how you say that like you can't drink 2 cups of milk in an hour?
I've never
2 cups
said
of milk
that.
in an hour.
Yeah,
I'll drink 2.
Or
I'll
3
drink
cups
2
of
cups of milk.
What's that?
Give
What's
me
that?
a minute. I'll drink 2 cups of
But
milk.
what's
in your
that
face.
myth about drinking
It's a
milk?
gallon of milk.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
More than 2 cups.
that might have been disproven as well.
Okay.
Wow.
There we go. Going to be a great video.
Watch
8
Billy
p.m.
go. Yeah, watch him
Pardon
go
my take you
war
to
mode on the chicken wings.
subscribe. All right, my hot seat is anyone who likes Tim Tebow because he got cut, and the farce of Tim Tebow actually trying out for the Jacksonville Jaguars and being a tight end. I'm not even mad about him taking a roster spot. I'm just sick of Tim Tebow, especially the fact that he was asked to be a tight end like 10 years ago when he was still in the NFL, said no, and now he tried again and he sucked.
Yeah, if you know any Skip Baylesses out there, give them a call today and check in on them, see how they're doing, because it's a tough one. I kind of almost want to see LeBron James just go out for the Rams on a whim this season.
I'm sure he'd be better than Tim
and catch
Tebow.
10 touchdown
Yeah,
passes.
yeah.
Just to watch Skip Bayless's head explode on this one. It's
I'm sick of him.
It was always a sideshow. He
Yes.
was never going to make the team ever.
But people- wait.
I love talking about.
I thought
Tim
you-
Tebow.
didn't you-
You my fr- if you
Didn't
th-
you
if
say
if you honestly think
He was going to maybe make the team?
if you honestly think that I like Tim Tebow and I want him to like be a great player because I'm rooting for him, then we don't see eye to. My thing with Tim Tebow is I love talking about Tim
Okay,
Tebow.
okay. But you thought maybe he would make the team.
I thought that Urban Meyer might be blackmailed by Tim Tebow.
Got it. Yeah, I never thought there was a chance, and I'm like they were number one seller in Jersey for 2 days. They robbed people of their money.
No refunds, not a dime back.
And now Tim Tebow is cut. So, and then my cool throne is the New Orleans Saints because they just signed Kevin White, Rookie of the Year. So Jameis Winston to Kevin White, I think I have a second team. I don't know what else I can say. Like that Jameis video today of him humping the air.
That was on Sunday night.
Oh, okay. My bad. I saw it today. That Jameis video I saw today of him humping the air was awesome.
Yeah, it was sick.
Okay. You kind of ruined, that sucks for me, but whatever. All right, Billy, go ahead.
What?
No, it just sucks. I like it sucks when when I say like when someone says like, "Oh, that video," and like, "Well, actually, you missed it." It's a shitty feeling. I feel bad about myself.
I retract my
I
correction.
feel bad about myself.
My hot seat is just students from middle school to college. Our nightmare has returned. Back in 2013, there was an app called Yik Yak, which absolutely destroyed people's lives, especially adolescents at a very impactful age. If you don't know, Yik Yak was an anonymous message board of sorts where basically with your geographic location, you could post like a message anonymously.
Okay.
So like, rumors were
Cyberdust?
spread.
No,
Dude, this
it
was
was all there.
Oh, it was a goddamn war zone. I mean, you could basically like post anything. Like if you were in a high school setting, right? Like you could just go to high school and then just like post something on that geographic location, and everyone would check the feed and like see like, oh, this person cheated on this person over the weekend, and like shit would go nuts.
Oh,
and it was a
fuck.
huge rumor mill.
Billy
And like,
football in the bathroom talking about being a wide receiver.
It just sounds like a bathroom wall that got turned into an app. Like, you
right.
can write whatever
But
you
the
want
thing
on
is
it.
like the janitor goes and scrubs the bathroom wall if something's put up, and like
Right.
like people could like be.
So what
pinged.
happened to it?
It's back.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
back.
But also like cool throwing freedom of speech.
This was like Cyberbully Central, like Ask
Got
FM,
it.
Yik Yak.
What happened
No-
to you, Billy?
No. I mean, Formstring. Like I'm just saying, like it made a
Cyberbullying.
group of very tough individuals who had to grow up like in being like 6th grade and seeing shit being put up.
Yeah.
That
Like,
does sound
impactful
horrible.
age.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Yes.
I don't have children. I don't know what it's like
That
to
you
raise
know
a
of.
kid in this environment, but I feel like kids until they're out of high school just shouldn't have apps. There's nothing good that comes from having an
True.
app as a child.
yeah. Also, my other hot seat, Travis Kelce. His beard
Yep.
has shaved. Everyone is just going after him on the internet. If-
On Yik Yak?
Yeah, basically, if there was Yik Yak at the Chiefs
Okay.
camp, it's probably all just roasting Travis
Okay.
Kelce for Kels
Kels,
for how he
thank you,
looks
Jake.
without his
Pronunciation guide.
beard. And
I don't think
yeah.
he looks that bad though. Like people are like, "Oh
Yeah, no,
wow,
it looks good.
Travis Kelce looks awful."
I think it looks good.
Yeah, when people shave their beards, they usually don't look that bad. I
No,
agree.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't jarring at all.
Just
He
totally
looks great.
normal.
Yeah,
totally
he
normal,
looked like a
clean shaven guy.
perfectly- Yeah.
He looks kind of like if Joey Chestnut played football. I can see that, or like a Mormon Henry Rollins. But like he still is. I don't know. He still looks pretty normal to me.
Agreed.
And my cool throne is Nick Saban. When told about Oregon having 100 different uniform combinations, he said, "We have 2. Red jerseys at home, white jerseys away. Our main concern around here is who is wearing them."
Love it.
Just
Football guy. Ooh,
Great
breaking
team.
news. What do you got, Henry?
Ben, the RV driver.
Okay,
Just
who's
tuned in.
quite a character.
He said, You can let the guys know that I got the generator AC going for at least now.
Wait,
The slide is still not working, and I'm out of ideas on it. Figure I better be happy with what I got done.
Wait.
I love the end of that sentence. By the way, that's him saying like, "I just quit," but he's like, "I figured it would be good if I could just be happy with what I was able to accomplish."
also the generator working for now when we don't have to go anywhere for like 12 hours. That feels like when he says for now, we're going to get on the bus tomorrow morning and he's going to be like, "Well, I told you guys it was working like at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night.
Yeah, well,
What do you want me to do about it?"
that means that he currently has the
Yes,
internet
right.
on the bus.
Yeah.
I have faith.
Okay. All right, Jake, your hot seat cool throne.
My hot seat is plain jerseys. The NHL, like the NBA, is adding advertising to their front of the jerseys in 2022. I feel like it's inevitable for NFL,
Yeah.
which is just
I'm
like,
fine with it. Who cares? Remember when they said when it was a big deal because the NBA was doing it, and then
Right.
it happens, and you're like, okay, they
Yeah.
do it with practice jerseys in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's going to happen. It's like you don't go to a sporting event anywhere in the United States and be like, "Wow, I had no idea there was all this corporate influence until there was a small patch on one of their jerseys."
Right.
Except for the record, when baseball does it, I'll be mad. Just
Yeah.
be mad at baseball for doing it too late.
yeah, it's a nothing burger.
Fair. And then Cool Thrones, the NBA schedule. We had the release of
yeah.
opening night
Christmas
and Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Christmas
Late.
Day. Nets, Lakers.
Well, wait, no, Christmas Day, Packers, Browns.
Oh, is it a conflict again?
Yeah,
Oh.
they released their Christmas Day schedule. There's 2 NFL games. Sorry, NBA.
What day of the week
Like,
is it this
not going to
year?
be watching that.
What
Christmas Day, I think, is a Saturday.
Well, remember a few years ago they just made the NFL slate on a Saturday?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, no,
it
they
was a
do
Christmas
that every
Day.
year. They do They do like a Saturday.
No, they had like Red Zone on a Saturday
Yeah.
a few years ago.
What day is? Do you think that there's any day of the sporting calendar that the NFL could not take over if Roger Goodell was just like, you know what, we're gonna do a game on the remember the Titans field on this day. Let's just say hypothetically,
No. It's
What
no.
field is that?
TC Williams High School.
It's the NFL. So the Browns and Packers play at 4:30, and the Colts and Cardinals play at 8:15. I'll be watching both of those. Sorry,
Good games.
I have enough. I'll watch the NBA, but the NFL will always just take whatever they want, whenever they want.
Yeah, so I think the only maybe like the opening weekend of March Madness, that would be tough.
Yeah, I would watch March Madness.
Yeah.
But I don't think. But the majority of America would watch the NFL.
Yeah.
This is a
I just ball is life for me.
And then
rough vacation schedule.
opening night, Nets, Bucks, and Warriors, Lakers. So that's in October.
What is it?
Nets at Bucks, Warriors at Lakers.
Okay.
I'm really excited for this upcoming NBA season, more so than I've been in a long time. I'm pumped to see the Warriors again. They're
Yeah.
actually going to be the Warriors again.
Yeah. What else are you? Give us a quick top 3 things you're looking
Okay,
forward to.
I'm also looking forward to the Washington Wizards, how they treat Bradley Beal as the guy now that he's no longer one of 2 guys. I'm also looking very much forward to Luka. Can he get out of the first round or the second round? Can he get to the third round? And then I'm also looking forward to actually your Bulls.
Yeah.
The additions that they've made in the offseason.
Lonzo
That's going to be
Ball.
great. Another thing to watch in the NBA this year is going to be the continued proliferation of the Clippers. Can they get it done?
Yeah. Will Dame get traded? Will he force a trade?
Will he force a trade? It's
I'm
gonna
so
be,
sick of
I've got
Damian
NBA
Lillard.
fever, Dan.
Damian Lillard is doing the. He can force a trade. Everyone can force a trade in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's pretending like he can't.
Yeah.
Just force a trade.
Also, the Boston Celtics have Marcus Smart again. That's
there
going to
you
be
go,
fun to
Hank.
watch.
Did you guys see
77 mil.
Patrick Beverly got traded twice in
Yeah.
2 days?
Yeah, that's tough. So, especially the way that he was tweeting about it, and he was like all excited to join the. First, he was excited to go back to the Clippers, and then he got traded. Then he tweeted out like grit and grind for the Grizzlies, and then he immediately got traded again.
Yeah. Tough.
Tough breaks for Pat Bev.
All right. Let's do our interview. We got Coach Ron Rivera at Washington Football Team Camp. Before we do that, PFT, you got a quick ad?
Yeah, before we get to Coach Ron, I want to talk to you guys about our great friends over at Logitech and their Ultimate Ears department. We love the essential technology that we use every day, whether it's one device all day or if you switch between several. With how much we rely on our devices, it's easy to forget about the hardware that we're born with, like the ear. Same as fingerprints, no 2 ears are exactly alike. That's why your earbuds probably cause you some discomfort or even physical pain after a while. Great news, the Ultimate Ears Fits True Wireless Custom Fit Earbuds from Ultimate Ears are here to change all of that. We love their earbuds. They've got molding technology. They're super comfortable. The most comfortable earbuds that you will ever wear in your life because they mold the best. No more uncomfortable ears. No more of that sore ear feeling where if you have your earbuds in for 2-3 hours at a time, you take it out and you feel like you just want to chop the damn thing off. With Ultimate Ears, you're not going to have any of that. It's going to be super comfortable. It's always a custom fit. You get a guaranteed perfect fit in 60 seconds. Ultimate Ears fits will stay put when you're on the go, but you feel ultra comfortable so you can wear them all day long. No pain, no discomfort. You can put them in, connect to the app, watch the purple LEDs form the earbuds to your unique shape. They have 8 hours of continuous playback on a single charge, up to 20 hours with a charging case. Ultimate Ears fits are perfect for listening to your favorite shows just like this one all day long. You can play and pause them. You can answer calls with built-in controls. They've got voice assistant, volume adjustment, and much, much more. For a limited time, get 15% off your pair of Ultimate Ears Fits True Wireless Earbuds at ue.com/fits. That's ue.com/fits. Use promo code PMT at checkout. 15% off. Promo code PMT at ue.com/fits. And now here he is, Riverboat Ron.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest brought to you by Coors Light. It is Grit Week. We have Coach Ron Rivera, Super Bowl champion, 85 Bears, coach of the Panthers, now coach of the Washington Football Team. Coach, thank you for joining us. We start every interview we do in Grit Week talking about what is grit. So what is grit to Coach Ron Rivera, and when do you know you see grit, and how can you feel grit?
Attitude. I really do. I think it's all about your attitude, the way you project things, the way you handle things, the way you deal with things, the way you approach things. I talk to our players about attitude every day. And one of the things that happened, and you'll appreciate this, from 1984 till about 1991, we had attitude in Chicago. We had grit. We'd get off the bus and know that was worth 7 points. You know what I mean? I mean, you really feel that. To me, that's what it's about, especially in this game. If you have the right type of attitude, you have the right type of approach, people feel it. People know you're for real. So to me, grit's all about your attitude, the way you project.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And first of all, how are you feeling? How's the health? You got energy?
Yeah.
Where are we at right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. My energy levels are that's the thing that goes up and down still. You know, I've been very fortunate. A lot of my tests have all come back, and the doctors have all been pleased with everything I've been doing so far. But the one thing that they told me is, you know, it's 12, 16, 18-month process. You're not going to feel like you normally do this time of year. So you just got to continue to work with it, stay with it. And so that's what I've been having to do is kind of, you know, work with it. And I have my moments.
Yeah, you could have said for the grit question that grit is fighting the NFC beast and cancer at the same time because, I mean, a remarkable story, inspiration, I would say, to a lot of people, what you're able to do. And, you know, I was listening to an interview you had about, you know, even days when you felt like you weren't up to it, but you were there at practice and you were there for the team. I'm sure that would you say that had something to do with how you guys performed last year, winning the NFC East and kind of coming out of nowhere as a team?
I think so. I think it had something to do with it. I mean, we had a lot of great stories with this football team, but a lot of things that we had to overcome. I mean, Alex Smith's story is about as good as it gets. It really is. And I think that helped too. Because I will say this, there wasn't a lot of complaining last year. And I think our guys, that kind of helped them to understand just, you know, I guess a little bit of what it takes to play in the NFL. And the thing also that I really do appreciate is just really how the players handled themselves and were as professional as they were. So a lot of good things came out of some of the things that we had to battle last year and overcome.
Yeah.
I remember when Alex got into that game for the first time. I know that was a goal of his to get back on the field and to play, and he got hit. And if you're going to choose one guy to get sacked by on your first contact, you're probably not going to choose Aaron Donald.
No.
You'd probably go with a smaller guy, a guy that's not like, you know, the best defensive player in the league. But when we were watching that, it was uncomfortable for us to see it, but we were also thinking to ourselves, like, Alex probably enjoyed getting hit. It probably made him more comfortable, like knocked some of that rust off a little bit. He got back into the zone. You as a coach, were you having to balance like looking after the health and well-being of your player compared to knowing that Alex is a competitor and that he wants to be out there and he'll be okay? Like
Yes.
how did that balance work into your decision making?
You know, it was a little bit tough because, you know, at first really didn't know and tried to learn and understand and get a better feel for where he was. But as things began to progress and you got to see him work more and more and see how much he's accomplished and how much he's pushed himself through, you got more and more comfortable. And then, of course, we put him in the ball game against the Rams and hold your breath. And like you said, you'd much rather have it not been the defensive player of the year. I mean, you'd much rather it be a little small corner or something like that coming off the edge and, you know, bouncing off of him. But it was good for Alex to take that shot because, boy, he played with a lot of confidence. He really did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I should have mentioned, by the way, at the top, we are outside at the Washington football team facilities. They were gracious enough to host us. But if you hear a plane going over, that's why. But it's a great setting. We're on a football field, doing an interview on a football field with the bus right next to us. All right, I want to talk about defense real quick. So you've been a part of some incredible defenses. Obviously, the 85 Bears, the 06 Bears. This team right now that you have is special defensively.
Yes.
Is there like a certain, thing that kind of you can see in all three of those teams that you've seen now in this team? You're like, all right, they're special for this reason. I've seen it before because I've been around these kind of special defenses.
Give me my driver, please, because he teed this up perfectly.
That was a good one, right?
Grit.
I'm letting you go for it. Yeah.
I love the grit.
Yeah.
I really do. I think you could say all three teams have grit. They have the attitude that you look for in groups, that they just know that, you know, if they go out and play their game, do the things they're capable of, they give themselves a chance to win. And that's the thing I like about these young guys right now is I think they're developing that. They're feeling that. They know what it's like. You know, it's funny. A lot of people said, you know, why are you doing what you did last year? Why did you do that? You could have gotten a better draft pick. But what we did was we developed our football team. We put our guys in position last year that they had to play down the stretch to get into the playoffs. So when you look at from Pittsburgh on, it was playoff situations, circumstances. It was tough. It was hard. And then winning and getting into the division, getting into the playoffs, we gained experience. And that kind of experience is invaluable because these guys now know what it's like. So they can develop that grit, that attitude you need. And that's what I'm starting to see. One thing I will say is that each one of those teams that one I played for and one I coach, and now this one, we had I think it started with the defensive line setting the tone for the defense more so than anything else. I mean, we had Brian Urlacher, a Hall of Famer. We had Mike Singletary, Hall of Famer. But when you look at those guys that were up front, there was something about those guys that set the tone and the tempo for who we were going to be as a football team. And that's what's exciting. So when I look at our guys, one of the parallels I see right away is I see that defensive line with potentially what can be guys that can have great careers. So I'm excited about it.
And I feel like PFT can speak to it because obviously he roots for the Washington football team, but it's this weird feeling you have, especially in today's football with the offense the way it is, where you actually look forward to defense. Mm-hmm. You look forward to your team playing defense because it's almost like we know we can suffocate whatever they throw at us.
I think that's an interesting parallel to what a lot of people have looked at because they always say, defense wins championships. Well, with the ability of so many offenses now to score the way they do, you have to be able to slow somebody down. And even more so, this will be true that a defense that can make plays at the right time will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So on the defensive side, we like to pretend that we're smarter than everybody else, and we don't do this guy's the best player on the team. We do this guy's actually the most important player on this unit. So I'm not talking about who's going to make the Pro Bowl, who's going to be all pro on the defense. So that's my way of saying I don't want Chase Young as this answer. But who is the most important player on that defense?
Wow, that's a good question.
Great
because
question.
when you look at it, I mean, I could give you several different guys for several different reasons. So more so than anything else, I'm going to say there's not one. There really isn't. And I say that because certain guys serve certain roles. Jonathan Allen might be one of the best natural leaders I've been around. Really has. But then you look at John Bostic, who's probably one of the most unselfish guys I've been around. I mean, here's a guy that everybody's been, since I've been here, has been competing for his spot. And all he does is work with these young guys and help these young guys and point these young guys in the right direction. And so, you feel like a guy like that is the type of guy you want out there. And then you look at the secondary and you look at the different mix of guys we have back there. And there's a kid named Jeremy Reeves. And to me, he epitomizes what grit is. The kid comes in last year, has a tremendous training camp. Tremendous. And we're going to release him. But we're going to bring him back. And I say to Jeremy, I said, look, this was very tough. This is our situation. We're going to bring you back. But if we bring you back, just want you to know you'll have every opportunity to make it and be on the 53. We had some injuries, and instead of bringing in one of my former players, I said to Jeremy, I'm going to give you your shot because you earned it, and I promised you I would. And by doing that, by me saying that and sticking to my word, and then Jeremy telling the other guys, hey, Coach told me, he stuck to his word, that has helped me. That has resonated with the other guys, that if I say something to you, I'm going to follow it through, and that's what I did. And so maybe not just on the defense, but on the team as a whole, just this young man, because of what he showed me and what he held me to, I think has helped me, and that's why I think he's very important to us.
Now, conversely, if we're talking about star players and how you coach them up, who was it? Brandon Staley on the Rams that we talked to? Mm-hmm. Talked to him about the responsibility that comes with coaching a generational talent on your defense. How do you coach a guy like a Luke Kuechly or Thomas Davis even, or in this case like Chase Young looks like he's going to be that guy? What's your coaching philosophy in terms of, do I put this guy in as many positions to make plays? Do I have him attack a certain way? Do I scheme him in a way that I won't scheme others? Or how does that factor into decision making?
What's interesting is I got a little bit of advice from Jimmy Johnson, Hall of Fame coach now. And he told me, he said, Ron, you're not going to be able to treat everybody the same, but just treat everybody fair. And so what you try to do from the beginning with a kid like that, with a young man like that, is you want to treat him like you treat everybody else, okay? Treat him fair. And then you hold him accountable just like you hold yourself accountable. And that's kind of the thing that I've tried to do. You know, being around Luke Kuechly, being around Thomas Davis and Brian Urlacher and guys like that, you know, there's something special about those guys. But they more importantly don't think necessarily about themselves first, but about their teammates. And that's what you see with Chase. Chase, if you watch him in practice and you watch him in the game, once after he's gotten done going through the adjustments, where do you see him? Well, he's standing over there cheering for the offense. He's cheerleading for those guys. I mean, he's, you know, Montez Sweat gets a sack, and who's the first guy to congratulate him? Chase. So guys like that, those generational type players, are really epitomize the saying that great people, great players raise the standards and the plays of other people. And that's what a guy like that does. And you don't necessarily always try to put them in a place that they always have success individually. You put them in position that the team has success. And that, I think, is one of the more important things, because I promise you, when you watch Aaron Donald, they put him in position that dude's getting double teamed. Doesn't matter where they put him. People are going, oh, there he is over there. But guess what that does? Now, if they're going to double team him, they got to double team him some way over here, and that gives opportunities for the team to be successful, because now this dude's being doubled, and we've seen that he's been triple teamed. Well, that's what we have to do with a guy like Chase. We got to put him in position that, sure, he can have success, but we can benefit from it as well.
So we love being around football guys. You are a football guy who have been around football for so long. You've been with some of the best coaches. You've been coached by some of the best coaches. What's the lesson that you have taken from a guy like Mike Ditka and a guy like Buddy Ryan and used in your career as a coach?
With Mike Ditka, honestly, it was, and I got a little story about that. Is Coach Ditka never asked anything of us that he couldn't do. Okay, and I remember one time, it was during training camp, and I said, you know, and he was chewing our asses all over, just crushing us. So I said to him, Coach, you know, so we had a moment. I said to him, Coach, what the hell? I mean, you're always honest. You're always pushing and pounding and screaming and yelling. I said, you know, why? I mean, what good comes of this? And he looked at me. He said, Ronnie, I would never ask you guys to do something I didn't do. And it hit me. It dawned on me at that moment that, son of a gun, this dude's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
So he has a high-ass standard. I mean, it is up here. And he believes that because he's been up there, we can be up there. And so it made me just realize that. And so of our players, I try to make sure they understand what the standard is, what's expected of them. And I think that helps our players. You know, with Buddy Ryan, it was always about us, team, us, group, us, always us. And we fight for us. Everybody else, you know, but us. And he had this way of getting everybody to pull in together. And he always stood up for us as a team and then as a defensive unit. And, you know, and I know one thing is he never wanted Coach Ditka to yell at any of the defensive players. So Buddy would always take the brunt of it for us. But then he'd come back and he'd give you a piece of his mind. And but believe me, I mean, you feel like, dang, dude's willing to step in for me, man. So I've always thought that, hey, you know, if something happened, I would always take the blame. I would always say, hey, these shoulders are broad enough, guys. I'll take it. And I learned that, you know, I mean, I learned tremendous lessons from being around Coach Dick, and I learned some great lessons being around Buddy Ryan.
And it's a good point, because you can see as a viewer the difference in a team that is playing for each other and their coach versus a team that's a bunch of guys that are playing kind of for themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's you know, it's the difference between championship teams and teams that are just kind of going through the motions, so to speak.
Yes. And I think that's the thing that you want to find out first and foremost is will everybody fit? And obviously not everybody's going to fit. The sooner you find the guys that don't fit and get rid of them or get them to buy in, the quicker you can have success.
And what are your thoughts about getting rid of ping pong tables in the locker room? Because I screwed up. I threw Tress way under the bus unintentionally when we spoke earlier, and said that our guy Jake, he's the best in the office at Barstool, that we had to schedule a tournament with him against Tress Way. And you told me, wait, I thought we took that ping pong table out of the locker room years ago.
Yeah.
So what's your feeling on, like, when is it time to take away ping pong table, and when is it time to let the ping pong table come back into the locker room?
I think when you're getting started, when you're trying to develop something and create a certain type of situation, the things have to be focused on what's important, okay, not what's interesting. It's interesting that he's the best ping pong player in the locker room, but right now the most important thing is we're the best team we can be, and so that's kind of why when I came in, and I know I got a lot of critics. People didn't like that idea, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, that's how I'm going to do it. And one of the things I learned from watching some of these great NFL coaches, and I'm talking about the current ones. When you watch Bill Belichick and you watch Andy Reid, who I had the pleasure of working for, and you watch Sean Payton and Pete Carroll, and what these guys have all done is they've done it their way. They've done what they believe is the right thing to do. Because at the end of the day, if I walk out of this building, just like I walked out of Carolina when I got fired, I did it my way. And I could say I did the best I could, and I felt good about that. And that's what I'm going to do here. No matter what happens, at the end of the day, when I'm done, said and done, and I do walk out, I do drop the mic, I'm going to at least be able to say, hey, I did it my way, guys. That I really truly believe is important.
Yeah. You're making a lot of sense, because now that I think back through it, the vast majority of all the interpersonal conflicts that we've gotten into as a podcast over the last 6 months have centered around that ping pong table.
That's why I don't play.
Really?
Yeah. So it might be time for us to wheel that thing out.
Yeah. Get it out of here.
It's not a bad idea. I also read that you had like an ongoing relationship with John Madden.
Yes.
Where you introduced yourself to him when you were a teenager, and you kind of kept that up over the years.
Yes.
Was that something where, like, every summer you'd be like, okay, it's Madden week, got to go hang out with John and hear him say cool things about football to me?
Yes. What it was after my second season. My previous owner, Jerry Richardson, had said to me, you need a mentor. And I got the perfect guy. I think you should reach out to John Madden. So I reached out to Coach. I called him. We got to talking. And I said, well, I'd love to come visit. And he said, absolutely. So I was going to fly out to Pleasanton, California, where he has his offices. And he says to me, Ron, I want you to do me a favor, though. I know you've got this dubious distinction. You're 3-6-13, games that are decided by 6 points or less. Go back and look at those losses and study and see what you could have done different. So, okay, great. So I do those things. Fly out to see Coach, I got this nice little report, and we're sitting there, we're just kind of BSing initially. I mean, you walk into his office, it's like walking into the Hall of Fame. I mean, the Raiders Hall of Fame. I mean, there's all this Raiders memorabilia. I mean, there's some really cool stuff. He has a 7-man Crowder sled in his parking lot. He does. I kid you not. Just sitting there in the parking lot. And I thought it was the craziest thing, but it's cool. But that's him. Yeah. So I go in, we start talking, and just as we're getting ready to get down to business, I said, oh, here. And I pull out, and I said, here's the homework you gave me. He said, what's that? I said, well, that's that thing you had me go study those games. He goes, that's not for me, that's for you.
Huh.
I said, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, what did you learn? I said, I learned I did things by the book. I felt like, I kicked a field goal here when I should have. I punted when I should have. We blitzed here. We did this, and he goes, how'd it work out? I said, well, yeah. He said, Ron, you know enough football. You've played enough. You've coached enough to go by your gut instinct, by your experience of what you've done. That's what you need to go on. All that other stuff, and it made me realize I was doing the safe thing. That's the safe thing to do. Because how many times, he did what he's supposed to. I did the right thing. Well, if it had been the right thing, we could have won.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I learned from doing that with Coach Madden. And you're right. Every offseason, up to a point, I would call Coach, we'd talk, and I'd say, hey, I'm coming out, love to come and see you. He said, hey, come on. And I would go see him. I'd spend time. I've got these immaculate notes that I kept from him, and I still have them. I still read them. One of the first things he said to me, he says, don't ever forget you're the head coach. You are the head coach. He said, when you forget that, that's when you're in trouble. And I've always tried to remember that.
It sounds like that was the birth of Riverboat Ron.
Yeah.
And my question was going to be, what's your biggest regret in your career, and why is it when you tried to be Analytical Ron, the worst nickname ever, when you have the best nickname ever in Riverboat Ron? Because you do remember that.
Yeah,
You tried
I
to get
do
everyone
remember
to call you that,
Yeah.
and that was terrible. I think I had
Yeah.
a tweet. I looked back, and it was like Ron Rivera's trying to give himself the worst nickname of all time, Analytical Ron. Riverboat Ron is incredible.
Yeah,
I want
rolls.
to play for Riverboat Ron.
Yeah, it does roll off your tongue. And God bless her, my wife, she went ahead and she copywrote that whole thing. She got a logo.
Really?
She got a logo for it. It's over on that club car cart that I got right there.
I love
they
it.
put the logo on it. See it right there?
Riverboat
yeah.
Ron.
Yeah,
So
there's-
do you say to yourself every now and then, like, all right, it's a situation late in the fourth.
Yeah.
You could go for it. You could punt. You could play the safe way, and you're like, hey, you're Riverboat Ron. Like, let's do this.
I don't put it that way. I do think about it at some of the strangest moments. And it's funny because one of the checklist things I go through is, when would I do that? I have this little checklist that myself and my chief of staff that we review. And as I go through it, one of the questions is, am I going for it on fourth down? Where am I going to go for it? Are we going for two? What are we going to do? How those types. So it's thought out before we get into it. But to go back to your original question, because I had a good answer for that. I'm trying to
Okay.
remember what the question was.
The Analytical Ron. Why did you do that? That was a
Okay.
big misstep.
No, it wasn't. Really, what it was all about was, becoming Riverboat Ron. And as you said, the biggest regret I have is not necessarily that, but the biggest regret I have is initially when I put my first coaching staff together as a head coach, I did not have a guy that had any head coaching experience on my staff. Okay. And so I really didn't have anybody to fall back on. And I would feel odd every now and then, like when I did talk to Coach Reed or I did talk to Coach Turner, that I was getting in their way. And I didn't quite have that understanding or somebody to lean back on or as a sounding board. So going to see Coach Madden really kind of opened my eyes onto, hey, that's what you really need. You need a mentor. You need somebody that has been through it. And which led me to one of my, I got a bunch of sayings. This is one of my favorite sayings is, don't draw me a map unless you've been there. Now all of a sudden I've got people that have been there telling me, hey, do this, think about this. That's why listening and talking to different people like a John Madden, like a Jerry West, like a Jimmy Johnson, I mean, those things, that carries weight because these men have done it. These men have experienced this. And so when you get to that position and you're looking at having to make decisions, I don't want people to necessarily think that I'm just throwing it to the wind. I have truly thought these things out. I mean, Riverboat Ron gambling on a play has been thought about before the game. We do this every Friday as myself, and we have an analytics guy that sits down with me and a couple of coaches, and we go through situations that happened the week before to other teams. Fourth down situations, punt or go for it. Field goal or go for it. 2-point conversion here and that. And we talk about those things and we discuss it. So, I just didn't want people thinking that I'm just that guy that's, rolling the dice every time I get up there and I got to make a decision. I mean, these things are definitely planned out, thought out. And we do see the analytic numbers, as well. Everybody has them. And those are just tools to help you make your decision as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Well, we consider ourselves to be kind of analytics specialists in that we specialize in exactly one game scenario. So we're going to give you a pop quiz here.
Okay.
There's 2 minutes left. You're down by 14 points. You score a touchdown. Do you go for two?
Depends. It's truly going to depend on who you play.
Uh-oh.
If you're playing against, let's say you're playing against the worst defense in the league.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you're going to go for two. Why? Because you're going to believe the next time you're going to score.
Yeah.
Okay, now you give yourself a chance to win, but you do believe you're going to score again. If you're playing against one of the best offenses in the league, you may feel you may never get the ball back, but sometimes it's the rhythm of the game. We played a game. In 2013, we're playing the New Orleans Saints, and we're playing them in Carolina. It was a hell of a game. I mean, it was an absolute great game. And I'm trying to remember the score exactly, but I think it was 13-10. They had the lead, and there was about 3 minutes left to go in the game. We had 2 timeouts left. We had the ball. We're driving. We get stopped, absolutely stopped. And I decide to punt. And I got crushed. We punted the ball, and the commentators even said he should have gone for it. But that day, think about it. We were fortunate enough to stop Sean Payton, and Drew Brees to only 13 points. All right, and I really felt we would get another chance. But I was getting killed for it. I appreciate that. We stopped them. They punted. We got the ball back, and I figured 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning coming. We have a chance to get into field goal range, tie the game, and see what happens. Not only did we get into field goal range, but Cam threw the touchdown that gave us the win, and we inevitably ended up winning the division that year for the first time in like 8 or 9 years. But the point being is that there's no 2 situations that I can sit here and tell you right now I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing that tells me I know exactly what I'm going to do against our opener, against our Thursday night game, against our next Sunday game. I can't tell you what we're going to do in those first 3 games until we get into that situation to see how we're playing, how our opponent's playing.
It's nuanced, and it's probably a smart answer. We just always say
Yeah,
go for 2.
go for 2.
We just learned that one thing,
Yeah,
and so
and
we
it's the math.
regurgitate it without
Yeah.
applying critical thinking to it.
No, which is great. I mean, again, the best part about it is that you might not ever have to make that decision.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
You never know.
I
You
play
might
a-
call us in.
I play a lot of Madden.
I was expecting you to say our name when you're like, Matt, talk to Coach Madden, Jerry West, like in Big Cat and PFT. All right, so I have one last question. It's the Mattress Firm question. Unjunk your sleep. Go see a specialist. MattressFirm.com. Get started today. I got to know, what did you say to the defense? 2006 Monday Night Football, Bears-Cardinals. The great comeback game when, everything, they're down 20-0.
Yeah.
Fumble return for Peanut, fumble return for, I think, Mike Brown.
Ground their asses.
Yeah, the Bears are who we thought they are, the famous game. What'd you say at halftime, down 20-0?
I told the guys that we had basically outsmarted ourselves, and we were going to play man coverage for the most of the second half. We were going to line up man-to-man and find out who the better team was at this point. We weren't going to try and trick and dick anybody. We were going to line up and go at it. I don't know if it was because of me, but I will say this. I know this much. When you watch the way Brian Urlacher played and took over that football game, the way the defensive line rose up, the plays that happened. I mean, those guys, it was great. It really was. And it's a tribute to that football team that we were able to come back and win that football game. It really is. And I really do think that, there are certain guys that no matter what the situation will rise up. Brian Urlacher most certainly was one.
I mean,
of them.
you answered it though. If you just say in front of your team, no more tricking and dicking. Let's go.
Let's
Man
just
up.
line up play. And that, I mean, that really was. I mean, I go back to it and look at some of the things that I've done and said. Pittsburgh game last year on Monday night. Okay, just before the half, I figured, you know what, we're gonna we got a chance, 4th down. Hey, let's go for it. We were in our own territory and we got stuffed. Our defense bowed its neck. We stopped them on the goal line, got the ball back on downs. Went down, kicked a field goal. I went in the locker room, and first thing I said to the guys, hey, I screwed up. That's my fault. I made a mistake. I should have never, I put too much on you guys. And one of the defensive guys said, nah, coach, we got your back. Man, when he said that, and it's something that resonates with me. I mean, the appreciation I had for knowing that that's how the guys felt about that was awesome. I mean, that really did. And obviously we were fortunate enough to win.
Yeah.
And my last thing, we already talked to Mr. Wright inside, so he's been very upfront with the whole name change process, and he told us what the team name was going to be next year. What do you think about that?
I like the idea. I think it could be cool. It's going to resonate very well with all of our fans. I think the logo will be a real neat logo.
Definitely.
It'll go well for our marketing department. I think the fans are going to love it, fall in love with it, and I'm real excited.
What was that name again?
I was waiting for you to tell me. Believe me.
That's great coach speak, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you're
forgot
literally
that.
answering a
Damn.
question.
Yes.
That was
where you
analytical
don't-
Ron
yeah.
came out.
The transition lenses. That's why. So when they get darker, that's Riverboat Ron.
Yeah.
When they get lighter, it's analytical.
Yes,
Ron.
it is. That's
like a mood
exactly.
ring.
Well, that's the crazy part. If you look at the logo my wife had made,
Uh-huh.
she made sure the glasses were tinted.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. I love
nice.
it.
No.
Well, Coach, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Best of luck this year. We know PFT will be living and dying with every game. So
Well, I appreciate PFT, become one of our fan ambassadors.
yes,
You
yes,
know,
he's
that was
your
really
boss.
cool. No,
Yeah.
he is. Well, I wouldn't go that far.
No, my understanding was that I could hire and fire you at my will.
Really?
Put
yeah.
the ping pong tables back in.
Well, yeah.
Awesome.
First order,
Yeah.
if we win 4 games in a row, ping pong tables back in. Second order of business, you need to install some designed laterals downfield.
Yep.
So to a receiver
Rugby.
that catches the ball. So you said you talked to people that have been there before, that have accomplished things.
Yes.
You might have heard about my career. I played for the 9th best rugby team in the United States back
Really?
in 2011. Design downfield laterals. Just dump it off. If you can draw them up, if you drop the plays, get a receiver open, have a guy trailing them. If you're confident that your guy can catch it, that's going to be open. That's going to be a chunk
Let it
play
fly.
every time. That's going to be the next revolution in football. And I want to tell you so you don't, get 5 years down the line, you're like, damn, I really wish this downfield lateral business hadn't caught me off guard. I'm letting you know right now it's the future of football.
Big Cat, you notice how I looked like I was interested?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. You're good with the media.
No, I will tell you this. There is a high school football program. No, seriously now. There is a high school football program that they've instituted that. It's all about once the play happens, it's going, now next guy gets into position and they lateral, just like that.
You got to be safe with it, and you got to drop a play, so maybe it's just one pitch per play. Don't try to break the framework of football with it. But you see it happen occasionally where they do a hook and ladder.
Yeah,
but
Boise State.
there's other ways of drawing that up that's not just a strictly hook and ladder that I actually think will change the game soon. Just let you know.
Okay.
Take your lead.
You're ahead of it.
All right.
Analytical
Yes,
Ron.
he is.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Really appreciate
No, I
it.
appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Coach Ron Rivera was brought to you by SummerSlam from WWE. SummerSlam is WWE's biggest event of 2021, headlined by megastar John Cena. Ever heard of him? He's probably still balls deep in Big Cat's belly button. And he's going up against WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, live from Allegiant Stadium, something I've been balls deep in Las Vegas on Saturday, August 21st. And Barstool is going to be all over it. You're going to get full coverage, interviews, and access over the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned. If you can meet up with some of us in Vegas, it's going to be a party. Book your flights, buy your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. If you want to check it out at home, SummerSlam is going to stream live Saturday, August 21st, 8/21 at 8 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. It's on the cock. Now here he is, Pro Football Hall of Fame president, David Baker.
Okay. We are here in Canton, Ohio. We're at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We're here with our host, the president, David Baker.
Can we
of the
say
Pro
friend?
Football Hall of Fame. Friend?
Friend.
Yeah, friend.
Friend.
Thank you.
Pals.
Thank you for having us. This was incredible. We did a whole tour. Just incredible. It was a football guy's or girl's dream to walk through the halls of Canton. So we appreciate it, and we want to say thank you very much for a wonderful day. We have something important, though, we have to discuss. So for listeners of this show, people who know, but maybe they need a quick recap, our goldfish, Larry 2, the 2016 NFL season, he went 60% picking against the spread. Mm-hmm. One of the greatest goldfish of all time, if not the greatest. True football guy through and through. He passed, tragically, and we then, in the summer of 2017, buried his body in a tree, under a tree, in the shadows of Canton, in the shadows of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
In the stadium park.
It was right behind, right by a nice, beautiful stream. We had a bunch of
Touching
people
ceremony. Yeah,
show up.
It was a somber evening, but it was a celebration of his life.
Yes, and then
Heartfelt.
Yes, in an even more heartfelt moment, probably one day afterwards, we've got a cryptic message from a terrorist organization. It was probably just a couple of drunk guys. They had robbed his grave. They had literally stolen the dead body of our goldfish. We never talked about it because we actually thought it was such a horrific thing. We didn't want to give them any type of light or give them any credit or anything like that. Flash forward, we're here 4 years later. We go down trying to find Larry's tree, the tree that we buried his body underneath. The tree is gone. It has been cut down.
Stolen.
I don't know why. Stolen?
Probably
I don't know.
stolen, yeah.
Deforestation's a real problem in the world. I didn't think it had spread to Canton, Ohio, but apparently it has. And to say that we were heartbroken
Yeah.
would probably be an understatement.
PFT and I were standing by the river having an apology off, demanding apologies from each other because we couldn't figure out where the tree was.
I was
We're
like,
like
it
an
was here.
old couple.
The cat's
I
like,
was
no,
there's
it's
no
down the
tree
street.
here.
And then I was like, no, I don't. And then we got mad at each other, and it was all because some vandal. It's not enough to steal the body of our dead goldfish. They had to go ahead and steal his grave marker too. Now I know how the ancient Egyptians felt.
Yeah.
I know why they built pyramids to keep grave robbers out.
I think it's a sign though that Larry and his spirit, his soul, don't deserve to be outside. He was an indoor fish after all. So what do we have to do to get Larry into the Hall of Fame? A remnant,
a token, a trinket, a
something
sticker
in the archives somewhere.
Well, we can certainly put him in the archives, okay? Because we collect all.
That was
history.
easy. Jeez. All right. Okay. Thanks.
And you met John Kendall.
Yeah, it
and
was incredible.
You write us a letter. We can put it in there with the letters we have from Walter Camp and from Teddy Roosevelt about the game and everything like that. But I need a heartfelt letter from you guys.
Okay.
But in your history, if I could kind of put in one other thing here.
Yeah.
We met for the first time, about 2.5 years ago?
Yep.
I think it was Super Bowl 54.
Yep.
In Miami. And you came to my room, and I couldn't get you out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys, kind of like squatters. You guys stayed there, the whole deal, raided the minibar, all of that stuff. But you told me the story of Larry, and we started thinking about Larry and stuff like that. And we started, how can we heal that hurt in you that is deep core seated? That
Tragedy.
About a loss that you get somebody to tell you 60% against the spread. You're losing a little cash in that deal too.
Right, exactly.
So what our staff have done, you've met John Kendall, our archivist, and we've got a lot of guys like this that are, they're the best in history, they're in preserving history and the documentation of it. We've got 6 million pictures, 40 million documents, a whole lot of artifacts here. What you see in the museum is only 2% of what's here. So what we did was we specially recruited this goldfish right here.
Okay.
This is not Larry.
Yeah.
But this is Goldie.
Goldie.
Okay. Goldie is a gold jacket goldfish.
Ooh.
Okay. And Goldie has been around our gold jackets. Goldie has been in the archives for about the last year.
Really?
Kind of just by osmosis, picking stuff up from the archives, all our Hall of Famers, our John Kendall and all the guys there.
How do I know you didn't buy this goldfish today?
Well,
I don't think he would lie to us like that.
Would you lie to us about this goldfish?
Our values here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame are commitment, integrity. But it's Goldie is a very special goldfish.
Okay,
all right,
I believe you. All right, that's
It's
enough.
got our Hall of Fame,
Yeah, no, I can see it
brand
right
on
here.
right there.
It's a Hall of Fame
clearly
But-
from the Hall of Fame.
But I think when you take this back with you, okay?
we have to take this with us.
We don't
You
have
realize
a great
we're on a
track,
bus.
and we don't have a great
this
track
thing is gonna
record
die.
at keeping
It's
goldfish
a
alive.
gift, and we've nurtured this
You
thing.
know it's dead.
So that you could get, I think you could maybe get 65-70% against the spread on
I
this
just
one.
want you to know, because what you're doing right now is you're passing off a murder of a goldfish to us. So I want you to know your hands are dirty in this.
Yeah,
Because this goldfish isn't going to make it. We're going Cleveland and then Buffalo. It's not making it to Buffalo.
If you want, we can keep it in our archive.
Okay, yeah, you keep
We
it.
will take care of it because we don't want anything to happen to it.
Yeah.
Because, again, this is a special goldfish.
Okay,
Look at
so
that.
This
He
is a
didn't know that he was
gold
gonna have to hold on to
jacket
a
goldfish.
goldfish
No, that's part of the deal right there.
You guys may not
got
know.
power
You
shifting.
guys may not know, but I'm a lawyer too. So
Yes,
I took
yes,
criminal law. and
yes.
last thing I'd want to do is be implicated in anything the two of you do.
Yeah, no, it's
what
good.
is it?
That's smart.
It's also like possession is 90% of the law. You currently have possession of the goldfish right now.
But we'll
So-
keep it. But just like everything in our archives,
Okay.
there's stuff like that that's donated to us, and we're stewards of that.
Yes.
So we're going to be a steward of your goldfish. You will own this.
Yeah.
But we will be stewards of this.
Okay.
And we'll
I-
write a letter.
We can write a letter. I also think maybe what we can do is, can we send you a trinket or some sort of fish toy representing Larry? Maybe a tiny plaque commemorating Larry to put inside this goldfish tank to be with this goldfish. That way,
We can put
we have the
whatever
next
you want.
generation,
Okay.
and as long as that's in the
I
building.
want $1 million as well.
Okay, you won $1 million?
I want $1 million
You
as
want-
well from you.
Let me make sure I'm
right
hearing this
now.
right. You want to donate $1 million to
I
the
want-
Pro Football Hall of
I
Fame
want-
as a not-for-profit corporation. This is
I want
such
the
a big
Lombardi
cat.
trophy.
This is such a great moment.
Give me the
of you.
Lombardi trophy. I don't know. You were saying yes to everything, so I thought we'd just push the limit here.
Well, you know,
The Lombardi
I
trophy.
think it's wonderful of you to make that kind of donation to the hall, and I want you to know that we can give you a charitable deduction for it. Because we're not
okay,
for-profit.
great.
Almost
That's
like
incredible.
They're paying you to donate.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the money you guys are making, it's easy.
75,000
Do this
an
for the
episode.
game.
82 now. Yeah,
82,000
they
an
increased that.
episode. All right, so this is actually great. So we're going to we had such a great time, and we're going to talk about it. And we'll tell everyone go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, go to Canton. I think what we'll do though is we're going to have an official letter with maybe even a list of the games that Larry picked in his win-loss record, with possibly a trinket. Billy's gonna have to do all this stuff, and we're gonna send it to John. And really, if we're just being honest here, a little sidebar between just the three of us guys. If John throws it in the trash, that's fine. Just tell us he didn't,
Yeah.
and we're cool with
Just
that.
tell us that it's in the Hall of Fame somewhere.
Right. He can throw it away, but just you tell us that it's here.
Yeah, well, it's we will take good care of it. I
Okay.
promise you. Okay,
Preserve
because
it.
I will tell you, while we have a lot of fun, we are real serious about
Yes.
the history of the games. I mean, hopefully John was able to show
Oh,
you.
it's incredible.
You know, there's right now there's about 355 bronze busts here, and the line to go through there during enshrinement is like a couple hours long.
Yeah.
And people stand in line to go through. But what I will say is everybody who ever played the game, I've got a son who played the game. He was a first-round draft choice, 23 overall by the Atlanta Falcons in 2008. They'd also picked Matt Ryan to protect. Sam was a left tackle to protect his blind side. He's got an archive here. Everybody who played a week has an archive here. We want to keep their history, not just what they did, but if they want to come in here and be on camera with us, we can put in what they learned from the game, and not just what they did, but who they are. And if you were to go downtown, there is Centennial Plaza, which is, I think I mentioned this last time we were talking. The good people of Canton raised $12 million. I mean, who else does this for the NFL?
Right.
But they raised $12 million for a park that commemorates the first 100 years of the NFL. And our archivist spent about a year and a half, and we've got listed down there all 25,474 names of the men who played in the National Football League during its first century.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, again, I know you guys get emotional about Larry, but, you know, I do this every day.
Yeah.
We keep history. I get to meet the greatest football players to ever play. But when I went down there and saw my son's name, I'll tell you, I remembered the 8th grade when he said he wanted to play football. And then he started making goals of what he wanted to lift and what he wanted to do. And, you know, these guys have a history, and their history involved a lot of other people and a lot of other sacrifice and something special. And they are the shoulders that this game stands upon. So, you know, we'll be glad to take care of Larry. I mean, we've got all the mascots and everything else for all the teams.
It was more than a mascot.
But we are real serious about the archives and the history of the game and the legacies that these guys have left behind, even if you don't have a bronze bust.
Yes.
I was talking to John a second ago about the fact that I don't think it's a coincidence that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio, and every football coach either comes from Pittsburgh or this area of Ohio, because this is their amusement park that they go to. Some people grow up and they go to Busch Gardens or they go to Disneyland because that's close by. I think people in Ohio take their families to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and that gets in their heads from a young age. Like kids that might not be athletic enough to play football at the highest level, they grow up, this is what's fun to them, is finding out about the history of the game. I actually think that this place gives birth directly to a huge number of professional football coaches.
Well, we think there's a lot of values here and everything, but let me kind of take that one step farther, PFT. You know, we'll have the Ohio State Buckeyes here on Thursday. You know, Coach Day will bring them. They'll practice on Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. They'll have lunch here. I'll get to talk to them for, 20, 30 minutes, and then they'll tour the museum as well. He believes that's important for them. The New York Giants will be in here on Saturday. Every year, Coach Belichick, who is a great student of history, brings the Patriots here, and I think that what you're talking about. It's not only great to know the game and the shoulders you stand upon, but these days there's so much parity in the NFL. That frankly, it's the difference. This year, the difference between what will be 9-8 and 8-9 might get you in the playoffs, and that comes down to 2 or 3 games. And those 2 or 3 games kind of come down to some character moments for that offensive line or for a great receiver or quarterback. And I know those guys. I know Coach Belichick and those guys feel that understanding the character of the game here and what guys have done might help them that little bit more that they need.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been an incredible day. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for admitting Larry into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we will send Larry. We will sell John something. We'll send him something, and we appreciate your friendship.
He's not going in the bronze bust room.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
We're not getting a gold jacket.
No,
it's
he already had one actually. We put one on him when he buried him.
He's not getting a ring of excellence. But
Yeah.
he will be included in the archives of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Perfect.
no,
That's all we
we're
wanted.
just playing a semantics game where we're saying he's in the Hall of Fame because technically in the walls somewhere. So that's our department.
You'd actually be surprised how many people do that.
Yes, yes. Well, we're in.
But you know what, guys? It's great to have you with us.
Yes.
And I appreciate every time I've been with you, I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate the seriousness stuff and how much you guys respect the game. You'll have fun, but you respect the game and those guys who play it. So
Fact.
thank you.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much.
This is a magical place. If you haven't come to Canton, Ohio, you should come check out the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay, let's get to Mount Rushmore and guys on checks is what we're calling it. So before we get to Mount Rushmore, quick word from our friends at Cross Country Mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage is much like us at Barstool. People-first group of people. They're dedicated to the fundamentals of mortgage lending, which results in a fast, convenient, and less stressful home financing or refinancing experience. If you're looking to buy a home, Cross Country Mortgage is where you should start. If you're looking to refinance your current home, Cross Country Mortgage is where to start. Rates are at all-time low. They may never get this low again. Call today for a fast, free rate quote. Our partners will save you a lot of money. Call today, and our friends at Cross Country Mortgage will give you a free home valuation that is free to you just for calling. Just like the all-star athlete, Cross Country Mortgage pushes themselves through the entire lending process. If they get blocks, they figure out ways around to get the ball over the line. Don't miss the window as rates are expected to creep up. Reach out to them and see what they can do for you. And when you connect with Cross Country Mortgage, tell them Barstool sent you. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com/Barstool to learn more about your future home buying experience or refinance your current mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. So go right now, crosscountrymortgage.com/Barstool. Okay. Mount Rushmore. Jake, Billy, you guys won, so you get to decide. You get to decide the order. You get to decide anything you want. Why don't you introduce it?
We'll go. What is it? Oh, yeah. It's the worst places to fart.
That was Jake's idea, by the way.
Yeah. I was going to
risque.
No, it
Jake.
was on the list submitted.
Okay.
Okay, you chose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
he wanted to make
crass
it-
of you.
the worst place, not the best place.
The worst places
I'm
to
just trying to
fart.
give credit to.
Okay, so
RAWS.
so what's the order? What's the order?
We're actually going to go Big Cat first and
Whoa.
then clockwise.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going first.
The back-to-backs.
Worst places to fart. I will start with a crowded elevator. I'm assuming all these farts are loud too, so people can see, they notice. They're like, "Hey, you're the guy."
When I was making the list, I was thinking loud and also that they smell.
Yeah,
So it's like you can't get away with it. no
Yeah,
matter
people
what.
just look at you. Crowded elevator. It's also the combo of that and the fact that it's usually strangers in an elevator. You'd say, well, strangers doesn't matter as much. No, it's weirdly our brains work where a stranger it almost matters more, because if you're in a place with a crowded elevator with people you know, you're like, whatever, I farted.
People laugh.
Yeah, right. So crowded elevator. That's my first pick.
My first pick will be. That was a good pick. That was my first pick as well.
Thank you.
Airplane. Same thing with strangers. you're gonna be sitting next to them for X amount of hours. If you let one rip and they hear it, they might look over and not say anything, which is even worse because you're just sitting there in shame, knowing
Can't
that
escape it. Can't escape it.
they're probably gonna get off the plane and be like, "I sat next to this dude who ripped the loudest fart."
Yeah.
What an asshole!
You know what's also really bad about that?
And there's
is
nothing you can do.
When you're on a plane, that's usually the place that you want to fart the most, or you
Yes.
need to fart the most.
Yes.
I will say that helps in the mask era.
Yeah, true, true. But yeah,
the sound,
plane,
though. Yeah.
and it also on a plane. I think everyone here has probably farted on a plane. You're like, hey, can I get this off without? And then it's just like, oh no.
Or if you have
That was a
headphones on,
mistake.
you don't know. That's
Yeah.
We'll get to
Yes, that was
If
a mistake.
you don't know that you farted, yeah. Does that happen?
Well, you don't know if it was loud. You know he farted.
Have you ever farted and been like, I didn't
we'll
realize
get to
that?
it. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
All right. My first one is pretty simple one. In a car while you're on a date. Especially if it's a new relationship, still getting to know each other. There's like a month or two feeling out period sometimes before you really just let the cheeks go. And when you're in the car, there's no escaping it. Although on the other hand, kind of like on a plane, after they get out of the car, that is top 3 fart.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
My first pick will be during an interview. First impressions are everything.
Yes.
That fart could be the end of your job.
Yes, it could.
And your
Yes, it
career.
could.
Oh, like a job
Step
interview.
Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Step Brothers. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Then for our second pick, we're gonna go with in class.
Good pick. So you guys are both picking in this Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Okay.
I was still part of my team. It was load management.
Yeah.
so we
That's
got the
right.
win.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
Disgusting.
Good picks,
Couldn't be
guys.
me.
Yeah.
Good picks, guys.
Someone's salty.
All right, my
No.
next
I just,
one,
man up and pick.
I'm going to
I
say...
did. My teammate wouldn't let me.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I'm going to go with in a library because
Yeah.
it's a double whammy. One, it's silent. Everyone looks at you. And two, it's the insult to injury factor of you being in a library,
Big time.
which
Big
sucks
time.
if you're not farting.
Silence and then maybe a wooden chair. Oof.
Yes,
Terrible.
making a bad situation even worse.
Terrible.
I'm surprised this got back to me, but I'm gonna go with a Subway. This did happen when I was living in Brooklyn. Had headphones. I was going to work, and when you're going through gaseous periods, like you have farts. If they're loud or they're silent. Like it's not like a one or the other. It's usually like you have a spell of gas and it's either ripping ass or it's just silent, maybe but deadly.
Yeah.
I had been going through some silent but deadly ones. So I got in the train. I had my headphones on. The fart comes. I'm just like, yeah, these have been silent all day. Just let it go. And 3 people turned. It was kind of crowded. It wasn't chest to chest, but people from both sides turned after I did it, and I knew that was not silent.
Yeah.
People heard
Brutal.
that.
You know what the worst is? When you're in a situation like that and you know that you're going to get tweeted later. Even if they don't know, if they're not like, hey, this is Hank from Barstool, but you can just tell if they're a certain age that they're going to wait till they get off the subway and their next tweet is going to be like, this guy just was on the L train and this guy just farted next to me.
It's gonna be on fucking Yik Yak.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yik Yak,
all
you
over
get bullied.
all over the Yik Yak.
I'm surprised this got back to me during sex. Terrible time to fart. Horrible time to fart. If you're having sex and you fart, it's really because it's also bare ass. There's nothing really stopping it. It just happens, and then what do you do if it
just
smells?
queef?
Then it's really bad.
You can play that off.
It's it's bad. It's bad. It's
All
a
right,
bad scene.
I mean, if you're getting pegged, it's tough to squeeze it out.
It's a bad scene. All right.
Got to plug yourself up.
And then I'll go with a work meeting. So multiple people. When you're in a conference room and you're sitting there and you fart, you guys did interview, which I think is different.
Because you're not hired yet.
I'm talking about a work meeting.
I'm just screwed up by the order.
Oh,
You gave one.
Yeah.
Sex.
right.
And then he doubles and goes back around.
I'm lost
You
in
okay?
the snake. I'm
You
lost in the snake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
work
happens.
meeting.
I'm lost in the
Work
snake.
meeting is a terrible time to fart.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't know.
You got to do the thing where you stomp your shoes when you fart, so everyone kind of mask it.
You guys ever cough?
Cough, yeah,
I
cough.
cough when I fart sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm running out of picks here. I'll go with doctor's office
Good one.
because then they're gonna be like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know. I had pizza for lunch.
Yeah.
Son, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
do we
that's
need
a-
to
that's tough.
get in there and inspect it?
Are you dying?
Like that smells like something's wrong with your bowels.
Yeah.
And then
Wait.
Nope.
You just went.
Yep.
Billy screwed up the whole fucking
Yeah.
snake.
Billy.
Billy, you killed the snake.
All right, I'm gonna go with funeral.
pick.
Farting
Yep.
at a funeral. Probably not a good. I've never done it, but I can't imagine that it would be fun.
Yeah.
Probably get a lot of looks.
The only like okay part. I mean, it's not okay to fart at a funeral, but if you're like at a funeral home, those kind of smell weird, so you can kind of like mask it a little bit. Yeah, it's not a good thing to fart at a funeral.
Also, if it's like a really funny sounding fart, I could actually see that breaking the tension in the room a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially if the person that just died loved farts.
Yeah.
Like you know what? That's him looking down from heaven above.
Yep. Life finds a way. All right, you guys have 2 picks now.
Crowded sauna or steam room.
Oh yeah.
Because 1, no one's talking.
Yep.
2, you all are in close proximity, and the heat
And it's a wet one.
magnifies.
I think
it.
sauna. I think steam room is worse because
Yeah,
of
it's-
the wetness.
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
I can hear it.
Yeah. Ooh.
I tasted a little bit.
Yeah. It gets aerosoled. You're right.
Yeah.
That's
Ugh.
bad news all around.
Gross. All right.
And our last pick will be in a pool because there's visual evidence.
The bubbles.
Mm.
The bubbles in the hot tub, though.
Uh-oh. I see a little dissension in this team. And what are we gonna say?
That's literally the easiest place to hide a fart.
No, because it bubbles
can
up.
see
Though.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's looking?
Just splash.
Or fake it and try to get our team points.
Sounds like Jake got yik-yacked about a fart in a pool.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. This is the you guys have not been able to do a draft together in a while because last time you
what's
kicked
going
Jake
on?
out, and it's tough times.
Guess
for
what? It
Team
resulted
Jilly.
in a win.
Yeah. Okay. PFT, your last pick.
So all of mine got picked. All of them did. Does getting head count? You said sex.
I think that counts.
I think head's worse.
I think that counts, though. I think it's like any
I
type
think
of
it-
sex. Oral sex is sex.
But the face and nose is so much closer.
I mean, okay. I think that's the same thing, but
Can I?
that's
I'll
fine.
put it up to the room for a vote. I don't want to.
I mean, you did kind of pick 2 with your first pick.
I'll give you head.
In a car while on a date.
Yeah, you did. So you could just that was bad, Hank. Yeah, you could just
I just
split
got
your
it.
picks up.
That was good.
You could just split your picks up.
We had date on our big board too, but it was taken.
Yeah, you did in a car on a
but
date.
I think
is
it's too late to split it up, so I won't say getting head.
Give me your head.
What about giving head? All right. Well, then I'm just gonna say after you're already dead, because then you don't get the pleasure of farting. Like,
Okay.
It's just annoying people around you.
Okay.
I don't know. I had to ad lib on that one.
You do a dentist
From the
office.
grave.
From the grave, yeah. Well, farting like, in the next like 2 minutes after you die, when your body is still
You could be a G
processing
and say a
things.
helicopter.
as a worse place on my private plane.
You wouldn't hear it on a helicopter. But all right, this I think is a little bit different because Big Cat said sex, but that you could be having sex with anyone. Mine is more specific, where it's like it's in bed if you're with someone you're not too familiar with.
Yes.
Like similar to PFTs, like you said, like a month or two. After a while, farts can be like an icebreaker. They're funny. But
I
if
think
you're
that's
still
fair.
just feeling it out and like you're not having sex, you're just in bed, maybe she's sleeping over.
Yeah, you're Netflixing, chilling, and you're
Yeah,
farting.
and then
Yeah.
you
Hand
just rip a
stuff.
fart
Yeah.
and it just fishbowls the sheets, and she's
Yeah.
just like she knows it wasn't her. That can ruin a relationship.
I think this is one of those Mount Rushmores that like it's a cell phone because I do think I dominated this and I still have a pick left, which means I just fart way too many times in bad places. But the easiest, I'm surprised this lasted directly after a sneeze because everyone looks at you like, dude, you can't control any part of your body. Like you're just a fat piece of shit. So that is the worst because then everyone just laughs at you and like that sucks. You not only sneezed, but then you're so like your asshole is so loose that you farted too.
Oh yeah, like anytime that you're doing another motion,
Yes.
and people can tell what the mechanism was that pushed that fart out.
Correct.
So like if you're squatting, if you're doing
Yeah,
a
no,
squat
I-
and you fart at the bottom, people are like, that's really embarrassing.
I had on my list tying your shoe.
Yeah.
When I go to or doing any type of athletic movement and everyone's like
Playing
your
ping
bo-
pong in the Triple S.
Yeah, your body can't. Yeah, that's true.
Wouldn't know.
Your body can't do two things at once without just farting. Like it's just a terrible experience to have. Bending over, like jumping up, everyone's like, dude, you can't just do anything without farting.
It's air hitting the ejection seat in your body. It's like, I don't know what's going on here, but we're about to crash.
Yeah. Again, I think this is a cell phone of a Mount Rushmore because
I don't know what that.
like
What does that mean?
I dominated the worst places to fart Mount Rushmore because I have so much experience.
Why does that make it a cell phone?
Because I have so much experience of just farting at terrible times.
I still don't get what a cell phone has to do with that.
Okay.
Are you talking about like
Are you saying a cell phone?
cell phone? Like
Would you,
make
a
calls?
cell phone. Oh,
Serious?
I was
what?
on
It
Hank's.
makes sense.
I'll be honest, I heard cell phone too.
Really?
It makes
This is
sense.
one of those Laurel and
Cell
Yanny
phone.
things, I think.
cell phone makes more sense. That was why I was confused. You understand my confusion?
Yeah, now I do, but I did not understand. I was like, what are you talking about? I basically
phone, cell
outed
phone.
myself as a terrible farter,
As a
which
cell
I don't
phone.
think is a surprise.
Cellular device.
Yes. All right, let's finish up the show. A cell phone? All
You know
right,
what's
let's-
not a bad place to fart? Hypothetically, in Roger Goodell's chair. Hypothetically.
Yes, hypothetically, it is not a bad place to fart. All right,
Do you
let's
guys
do.
like farting in the shower?
Yes.
Yeah,
You kidding me?
duh, dude. I like farting everywhere. Pack bar. That's also was a good. That was a miss. A pack bar.
You can
Yeah,
get
but
away
those
with
are
it.
You can get away with it, but
Those
you're
are
just
like-
a terrible person. I hate
Yeah,
you.
you start
but that
sweating.
Can be fun. You're
Yeah.
drunk. It's just like let's
Yeah.
let's have some fun, guys. Ready for this?
Yeah. Watch me fart and just watch as everyone just has to move out of the way.
And then just start yelling at your friend. Be like, tell your other friend like we're just gonna start yelling at him.
Yeah. What about real quick? You want to do 4 best places for like just amongst us, just like a list of only 4.
The shower.
Shower, great. In bed by yourself.
Yeah.
When you
After
can
a
loft
long
the cushions.
road trip or car ride.
Yeah, and getting off an airplane, I would say.
Yep. Also, maybe going out of a movie theater.
Yep.
That's also pretty nice. Movie theater is also a terrible place to fart.
A bubbling hot tub.
Oh, good one. Little yin yang for Jake there. All right, let's finish up the show. Hank, what
What's
do we
this
got?
new segment?
It's guys on checks. So we're talking about grit and work, hard work. So we figured we'd do something a little different for Grit Week.
This was work advice people
Yes.
sent in.
Yes.
How do you alpha a boss who plays power games?
I think it depends on the type of power games that they're playing.
I think you play into them.
I think you let the boss think that he's winning.
Yeah.
Sun Tzu, Art of the War.
Incept him. Incept him into thinking every idea that's yours is his, and then or hers. We're
Girl
a progressive podcast, girl boss, and then so that way they think that they're kind of controlling everything, but really you are.
I think also a really good way is if you get a compliment at work, you should tell everybody that, oh, it's really your boss that set you up for that, even if it's not.
Yes.
And then that will, trust me, the dividends will be paid much more that way than
Yes.
just being like, thank you for the compliment.
Yes.
Hey boys, happy Grit Week. So I have this thing where I shit and I like to use wet toilet paper. When I shit at work, I'm in a stall and have no access to a sink, and as a result, I bring a water bottle in with me. This usually ends up with water all over the bathroom floor, and the other day, a coworker questioned this, and I explained my system. He looked at me like I was a psychopath.
Yeah, let me just
Am I
stop
the
you.
only
You're
person-
a psychopath.
Am I the only
Confirmed.
person that does this?
Yes.
Thanks, boys.
Yes.
Wait, say it again.
They bring a water bottle,
When
like
I
a
shit at
Poland Spring
work-
water bottle,
no, I
so
have this
that they
thing
can
where-
wet their own toilet paper with
Yeah,
it.
when I shit, I like to use
Buy
wet
some
toilet
dude
paper.
wipes. Buy some dude wipes.
Yeah.
Buy some dude wipes.
Just, yes, you are a psychopath.
That's insane. Buy some dude wipes.
Hey, bangin' chains, boys. I currently am an arborist and go to people's houses to tell them. I thought that was going to be one of your words you laugh at, yeah.
No, you nailed that.
And tell people's houses to tell them what's wrong with their trees. Some of the people at these houses are attractive single women. What's some advice on getting myself into a Johnny Sins kind of situation?
Talk about wood.
Yeah,
Thanks in
there it
advance,
is.
boys.
You like wood?
I figured I noticed that this tree needs some trimming. Mm-hmm. This wood's really hard.
Yeah. You want me to take care of your bushes too while I'm here?
Wow.
Like that?
Yeah, wow, this is a really, really big piece of wood that you got right in your backyard.
Yeah.
Do you like it in your backyard, or should I?
Should I bring it in through your back door?
Some-
You literally are like, that's the easiest question of all time. You're built for terrible sex puns.
And also, being an arborist seems like the biggest crock of shit job. You just show up at someone's house and be like, yo, that tree sucks.
You're gonna get some
Whoa.
You're gonna get some tweets from me being like,
Whoa.
dude, you don't know what happens when a tree gets infected.
You just show up and you're like, yo, that tree fucking sucks.
Yeah,
too soon.
That tree's gonna fall on your house.
Yeah.
After what happened to our tree, I think it's
that's
a little
true.
too soon.
That's true.
Which tree?
The Larry tree
Oh, yeah.
that we talked about at the beginning of the show, which we didn't tape till after Hard Knocks, so it gets a little
You
confusing.
guys have me in a
Sorry,
mental
people.
pretzel right now.
Yeah, it's hard. We willingly don't talk about certain things and then have to not reference them, which we just did, and now here we are, folks.
I'm thinking ahead.
yeah, I know you are. Yeah.
I'm willing to go on the job as an arborist for a day and just show America what a crock of shit is.
Tree cancer's not a joke, dude. Not
Like,
a joke.
Worst thing that you have to do at your job is probably like throw a chain around an oak tree branch.
What about fire ants?
Bring them on. Fuck fire ants. You know I hate
They'll
fire
fuck
ants.
you up.
They will.
Identifying kudzu versus native plants.
I can identify
All right, whatever
kudzu.
he just said,
No,
don't
kudzu's
listen
an
to him.
invasive species.
What
of
about
vine.
bees' nests?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That would suck. If you have to go
but
and
no, but that's then you call up the beekeeper. That's their
I don't think
department.
the beekeeper always comes out.
My job stops where the branch ends.
I don't know. We'll see.
Some fellas, especially girdle cat. I don't know what that means.
Is it because I wear a beater? People thought I was wearing Spanx. I wear a beater every day.
What's a girdle?
I don't know. I think
It's the thing that you tie around. Like, have you ever seen an old Victorian TV show where they like tie up the chick's back and then she's like, "Oh."
Is that a corset? Yeah.
Yeah, it's corset.
It's good
Same
for
thing.
for back sweat. I have a sweaty back,
That's
so my
I mean,
ass cracking back. I mean, I would wear one of those. Little Spanx. Start wearing Spanx.
That video showed perfectly
listen,
why,
if I
why
wear-
you wear an undershirt and what happens when you don't.
Yeah,
The
right.
Frisbee golf
Yeah,
video.
PFT even said it while we were frothing. He was like, "Why aren't you sweating?" Because I was like, "I have a beater on."
It was
Yeah.
It was honestly disgusting.
Just
looking
takes
at
up
my
all the
back.
sweat.
I'm 28 and next in line for a big promotion when my boss retires. He's 63 and has said he thinks he has a few years left in him. How do I get him to retire early / tomorrow?
Kill him.
Thanks in advance.
Yeah, either you have to kill him or you have to start sucking so bad at your job that he wants to quit and get away from you.
Throw him in front of a train, Frank Underwood style.
Whoa, spoiler.
Yeah, true. That is, but no,
I don't think
you actually
anyone's going
can't
back to
spoil that
watch that
show.
show.
That's
because
right.
You can't watch it
Because it's canceled.
Kevin Spacey.
It's canceled.
You can watch the last season.
Yeah.
I actually tried to watch just the series finale. I was so confused because I hadn't watched the last season.
It honestly sucks after the first season. It's bad.
replace all his coffee with decaf.
That's a great idea, Bill.
That is the meanest.
It's
That's
like not-
killing him would have been nicer.
Because no, it's not like actually bad, but he's like, oh man, I'm tired all the time. I can't do this anymore.
I don't have it
Billy,
in me.
that
yeah.
is. If you do
It's
that to me, Billy,
diabolical.
I will kill you.
Or soy milk.
What
Added
is
So
it?
he gets
What is it?
tits.
Little estrogenic action.
Start giving
really
him
slow him
IPAs.
down.
So he's like, either I could quit or I have to start wearing a bra.
I think you could try to get him addicted to something instead of getting him off an addiction. You could like start sprinkling just a little bit of heroin into his cigarettes.
But then he'll enjoy the job more and like be like, I can do this forever.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta get to
Yeah, I'm
work.
having
Something
fun,
happens when I
yeah.
go to work. I just feel great. All right.
Kill him.
I teach at an elementary school and am one of 3 male teachers in the building. Any ideas on how to promote sports gambling talk at the water cooler in the teacher's lounge? Tried doing a March Madness bracket last year, and most brackets had the team with the cutest mascot winning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those ones usually do well.
Well, first of all, I disagree with the take that just because you work with all females that they wouldn't be into sports gambling. I think they just are all looking to talk about sports gambling, but they think that maybe their coworkers don't want to talk about it.
What I would do in this situation is you have to do it very slowly. Got to start doing like random, like, hey, bet I can't, like, you want to bet me I can't hit this shot, like throwing something into the trash, little stuff like that, and then they'll be like, oh, that was fun.
Or-
double or nothing.
Yeah.
If you double or nothing someone, you can have a bet going for life.
You could also just start off by relating it to their actual job at work. So you could say like, hey, if the Sixers win tonight, I'll clean off your chalkboard for you for the next week, and then start doing some
Chalkboard.
inter-office. Do they still have chalkboards?
I was like, that made sense to me, so I think we both outed ourselves
Fuck.
there.
Whoever the
I was
person-
like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. That's actually a good chore.
Whoever the person is that sold whiteboards to every school in America, that must have been the most lucrative salesperson
yeah.
job ever for like 10 years.
Oh yeah. And the markers, fuck those markers. They fucking, after like 3 times, you can't use them.
Can you still smell them?
Expos. Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you don't put the cap on it, see ya.
Do they still have
No
the
cap.
sniffing markers?
No cap.
You probably. I can't compete with that.
That was like, we should end the show.
I think I have
That
to
was
retire no
incredible.
cap.
Yeah, Jake just killed it.
I think we just witnessed the death of no cap.
I think that's it. Let's do numbers. That was Billy.
All right.
Getting
Oh my
recap.
God.
Teachers
That
would
was-
always complain
No, that was
about
incredible.
having
No,
to buy
don't
more.
say anything else. That was a George Costanza walk-off moment for you.
Tom Brady's son is now a ball boy at the Buccaneers camp, so he's going to be handling Tom's.
Okay.
balls.
All right.
No, I mean like
Not just making out anymore.
Like he now has a very complicit individual in his Deflategate.
Got it.
deals.
Okay.
Just saying. Anyway, also I'm going to be doing go to the Pardon My Take TikTok, follow it, watch the videos. All of the draft orders for 8-team, 10-team, 12-team, and 14-team leagues will be in a TikTok. Go to the TikTok, follow
Love
it,
it.
please.
So basically, if you ask for a draft order, just get all your names in a row, and then Billy will pick. So if you have an 8-team, he will show you exactly what the order is, random.
Over 1,000 people, leagues contacted.
Love it.
In emails.
This
so
is an efficient way to do it.
Very efficient.
So you're gonna do it when we get back with the lottery machine?
No, I was gonna do it for tomorrow.
How are you gonna do it?
I was just gonna do random ones.
Okay, cool.
So it's random in my brain.
All right, nice. All right. Speaking of random numbers,
75.
99,
18,
Jonah.
69.
Jonah's got 5.
5.
Got
All right,
5.
here we
on
go.
it.
24. 24. Kobe.
Sharks are all about
R.I.P.
that sleep when you're dead lifestyle.
Yeah,
That's
there. Just say the puppies one again with the elephants.
yeah, that was fucking awesome.
But you
Say the elephant one.
elephants look at humans like humans look at puppies.
Oh, love you guys.